You usually don't put a grease monkey and prompt engineer in the exact same sentence. I mean, one world is all about torque and oil and intact wrenches, right?
Right.
And the other is strictly algorithms, data, and code.
Yeah, it's definitely a strange pairing at first glance. But we have a stack of material here today from Samyak Online, which is a digital marketing agency, and they are actually pitching AI SEO and LLM SEO specifically for auto repair workshops.
Which sounds like total overkill, right? Like, why does a local mechanic, the guy I call when my radiator blows, why does he need to worry about large language models?
Well, our mission for this deep dive is to figure out exactly why the check engine light is suddenly flashing for how these local businesses exist online, because we aren't just talking about regular Google searches anymore, we are talking about answer engines.
Okay, answer is let's get into it. The source material argues this all comes down to the urgency of the business model, doesn't it?
Exactly. Auto repair is almost always high intent. If you, as a customer, are searching for brake repair or transmission diagnostics, you aren't just browsing for fun. You have a very specific problem and you want an immediate solution.
Right, and we're not window shopping for spark plugs on a Tuesday night.
Hmm.
But hasn't that always been true? I mean, we used to look in the phone book, then we Googled it. So what is the actual shift here?
The shift is the move from scrolling through search lists to relying on AI-powered discovery platforms. Samyak Online points out that the user journey is moving away from looking at 10 blue links. Users just want the specific answer. And getting that answer requires the business to speak a completely different technical language.
Okay, let's tackle that language then, because the forces are pretty heavy on acronyms. We've got AI SEO and LLM SEO. Are these just fancy rebrands of regular SEO, or are the underlying mechanics actually different now?
It's a highly valid question, but the mechanics really are different. Traditional SEO is largely about keywords, like matching the word muffler to your website text. AI SEO, according to these documents, uses machine learning and natural language processing to understand the actual intent behind a search.
So it's trying to figure out if I need a tow truck right this second versus just wondering how a muffler works in general.
Exactly. And LLM SEO takes that a step further. This is all about optimizing your shop's data so it gets picked up by the big models, ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Grok, and Perplexity. You aren't just trying to rank on Google anymore. You are trying to be the source material for the AI's final answer.
That seems incredibly difficult for a local shop, though. How does a mechanic explain to ChatGPT that they are the absolute best in town? You can't exactly just buy that ad space.
No, you can't. You have to structure your data properly. This is where semantic SEO comes into play. The sources emphasize building contextual relationships. It's not enough to just list your services on a web page. You have to use schema markup, which you can think of as digital sticky notes on the back end of your website that only robots can read.
So that tells the AI, hey, this is a business located exactly here that fixes specifically these types of European cars.
Correct. It builds a structured relationship between Toyota suspension repair and the specific local workshop into a single entity. If you do this right, the AI trusts you as an authority, and that leads us to the really new territory mentioned in the sources, which are AEO and GEO.
Ah, yeah, I saw those in the notes. Answer engine optimization and generative engine optimization. Again, so many acronyms. But what is the practical difference for you, the listener, trying to find a mechanic?
Well, the end goal is completely different. In GEO, you aren't fighting for clicks to your website anymore. You're fighting to be that featured summary, the Google AI overview that pops up at the very top of the page.
But wait, if the AI gives me the answer right on the results page, like just go to Joe's garage, I might not even visit Joe's website at all. Doesn't that hurt the business's actual traffic?
It might hurt overall traffic volume, sure, but the argument here is that it massively increases qualified leads. You get the customer who is ready to buy right then. But getting there is technically heavy lifting. That is why Samyak Online positions themselves as an offshore partner. They argue a mechanic simply can't waste time on mobile-first speed, trust signal enhancement, or reputation management.
Yeah, they need to be under the hood fixing cars, not coding websites and tweaking server speeds.
Precisely. It is all about supporting what Google calls EEAT, which stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. The AI needs to verify all those background signals before it recommends a shop for what is essentially a safety-critical repair.
That makes perfect sense. I mean, if I ask an AI, who can I trust to fix my brakes, the AI better be absolutely sure about the answer it gives me.
That is the real crux of it. The whole game has moved from a simple popularity contest to presenting verified truth.
It is a massive pivot for these small businesses. And it really leaves us with this final thought to chew on. We are talking about hyper-local, totally hands-on businesses like auto repair scrambling to optimize for generative AI just to survive. If your local mechanic is already adapting to answer engines, how far behind are the rest of us in our own industries?
That is the million-dollar question.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Take a look at your own digital presence, and we will catch you next time.